Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's Amari, your Perpetual Tech Noob, learning more with you. Hey, I'm back at it again. The last one went so well that I'm gonna do another easy today. So let's start this timer and let's get right to it. You know how it goes, y'all. I'm going in. Alternate digit sum. You are given a positive integer, n. Each digit of n has a sign according to the following rules. Okay. The most significant digit is assigned a positive sign. Each other digit has an opposite sign to its adjacent digits. Return the sum of all digits with their corresponding sign. Okay, so the input is n at 521. And the output is 4. Why? Because 5 was positive, plus a negative 2, plus a positive 1, right? Example 2, the input was 111. The output was 1 because the first sign was positive, right? Is that how it's going so far? The first sign is always positive, and then the next one is negative, and then the next one is positive. Okay. N is given as an integer too, so it's not given as a string. That might have to be converted. Anyway, in the last example, input is 886996, and the output was 0. The first one was positive 8. The next one was a negative 8. The next one was a positive 6, negative 9, positive 9, negative 6, which ended up being 0. Okay. So here's my intuition. I am going to turn this into a string, right? And then what I'm going to do is for every I'm going to use the string as a list, and for every integer, oh, you know what? Do I have to do that? Okay, this is, all right, my first plan. Turn it into a string, and then I will use list iteration to get every alternate or every other digit. The first one will be starting from the very first item, which would be index 0, and then index 2 with an index until it's completed. And then I'll use another list iteration to get the items of the string starting from index 1 and then skipping over 1 until I get to the end. I will make I will then add them both together, the sum of both lists, but on the second list, I will make that a negative number, right? And then, of course, get the sum of both of them together. The second thing I'm thinking about is that I can, without changing it into a string, I can grab the first item by dividing by 10, right? Until the remainder is 0, I can divide by 10 each time. Not divide by 10. Okay, you know what? Let me start with the first one, with the first idea, because the second idea I need to think out in my head. So let me start with the first idea. Because there's a lot of conversions with this. That's why it's going to be a problem. It's going to take up more time because I'm going to convert it into a string and then come back and convert them into integers in the list iteration. But I'm just going to go ahead with it, right? Just to get started on something. The thing is called n, so let's call it string n. As I do the conversion, I'm going to convert it over to a string. So string n would equal the string version of n. Why not while I'm here, right? I'm going to print out the I'm going to print out what it looks like. I usually end up doing this later after I make some mistakes, but why not just do it now? String n, right? Of course, that print statement is just for checking. The next thing I'm going to do is, I said list iteration. So I'm going to say positive ends, right? I'm going to label it positive ends, and I'm going to use list iteration to grab every other integer. And in this list iteration, I'm going to turn it back into an integer, right? So let's say positive ends, pos ends. I know that's not a real good name, right? I know, but we're going to move forward. Positive ends, and I said I was going to use list iteration. I could just do the sum while I'm here. No, why? Pos ends. Yeah, why not? Sum of positive ends. Sum pos ends equals the sum. What I'm going to do is use the sum method to get the sum of this list after the list is created. And we're going to change them back to integers as we continue. So of course that we could, that sum method would actually be able to work. Int num. Also, I should have explained this fully before. I'm going to use enumerate, the enumerate method or function, whatever you want to call it, to basically give an index of each one so I can know which ones to pull out easily, right? By saying if the index is divisible by 2 evenly or not. With the sum or the positive end, seeing that we're going to start from index 0, of course I want it to be, the index to be divisible by 2 evenly. So int num for I for index, num is of, right? That's not of, it's in. For in enumerate string n and of course, like I said before, that's if the index is evenly divisible by 0. If I modulo 2, thank you, is equal to 0. Now I could just take this and now I'm going to be looking for negative ends. So I'm basically going to be doing the opposite, right? Now I could make it where that this is a negative int num, right? I could do that right here. But what's the difference, right? This is already a little convoluted, so I'll just do the negative. I'll change it to a negative afterwards when I'm adding them both together. Some int num for I num in enumerate string n if I divided by 2 ends up with a 1, right? If I get a remainder of 1. And then all I have to do after that is return some positive n and some negative n. But the negative n, I'm going to have to make sure that that is regarded as a negative. So I don't even have to do a plus some positive n's minus some negative n's, right? Because if it was plus a negative item, that's the same thing as saying minus that, right? So I believe that's it right there. It is a little convoluted, right? Changing them into strings first and then using that so I could use list iteration. But let's see how it runs so far. Okay, that turned out fine. I'm going to submit it, might as well, right? I may have to refactor, so, and don't even have to refactor. What was that? Less than 15 minutes. I thank you all for the time spent over here. We might as well go to the scorecard, all right? I'll see you next time.
With that successful submission at 100% ranking, I didn't even have to refactor, thankfully. Saved a lot of time. I lost 2 extra points unnecessarily from concise explanations because I forgot to explain Big O. All right. Well, it's sad that I had to go back to LeetCode-easy to actually get such a great score, but I'll take it.
If you appreciate what we're doing over here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share.
All right, y'all. Till next time. You know how it goes. Keep building.